Well, it's Friday again, so are you ready for another Jazz Improvisation Fridays episode? On our last video, I gave you an exercise to practice the BB2-AA-B enclosure. This week, we need to work on the same enclosure, but targeting related 2 chords. So, minor 7 chords and minor 7 flat 5 chords. And we're going to play the same enclosure for both. But on minor 7 chords, we'll target the 3rd, and on the minor 7 flat 5 chords, we'll target the flat 5. Remember, this is a 5-note chromatic enclosure, double chromatic approach from 2 notes below, followed by a double chromatic approach from above, and then a chromatic approach from below. B2, AA, B. So by now, you should have a pretty good grasp of this enclosure based on the exercises that we gave you in our previous video. So in step 1, we're going to play again over consecutive 2 5s, but this time we'll target the 2 chord. Let's start by targeting the 2 chord in a 2 minor 7 flat 5 to 5 7 flat 9 progression from the minor mode. We're going to target the flat 5 of the 2 chord like this. And then we'll resolve the line on the 5 chord by targeting the 3rd of the dominant chord like this. This is a guide tone line that you should really know. The flat 7 of a related 2 chord always wants to resolve to the 3rd of the 5 chord. On E minor 7 flat 5 to A7 flat 9, that's a D to C sharp. Notice that the enclosure is a 5-note pickup that targets the flat 5 of the minor 7 flat 5 chord. And the first note in the enclosure is actually the flat 3 of the minor 7 flat 5 chord. So if we want to play this over D minor 7 flat 5 to G7 flat 9, we start the enclosure on the 3rd of our D minor 7 flat 5 chord, which is F. And then we end on the flat 5, A flat. And then we resolve the 3rd of G7 like this. Now, let's play it in all keys. In step 2, we're going to play the exact same enclosures on the right hand, but we're going to change all of the 2 5s. This time we'll play 2 5s in major, and we're going to target the flat 3 of the minor 7 chord like this. Notice how we're playing the exact same enclosure that we used on the E minor 7 flat 5. On E minor 7 flat 5, we were targeting the flat 5, but on G minor 7, this enclosure targets the flat 3. And we're going to resolve the 5 chord C7 by playing the same guide tone line, the flat 7 of the 2 chord to the flat 3 of the 5 chord. Only this time, the flat 7 of G minor 7 is an F, and the 3rd of C7 is an E. So while on an E minor 7 flat 5 to A7 flat 9, we played this. On G minor 7 to C7, we would play this. These changes in perspectives are really useful to start assimilating these enclosures. And you'll really see a big difference in your improvisation once you start practicing these exercises. Now, of course, play it in all keys. In the PDF, we provide you with 2 versions of these exercises. One with all the notes written down, and another one that shows you no notes for the enclosures, because you don't need them. You just need to know the target notes to play these enclosures. All of our members will receive a PDF with today's exercise, and the PDF will include a link to this video tutorial and to an exclusive access video with the call and response backing track. You can play with the piano player or just listen to the call and then respond. There's a slow version followed by a fast version for you to practice at different tempos. And please remember to join if you haven't done so already to download that PDF. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next week.